Good morning. Please be seated.
Good morning, Judge.
Okay, are we ready to proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Reese, bring the jury in.
Judge, while the jury is coming in, do you think that today or tomorrow we could have another one of those conferences where the prosecutors can give us a better idea of when they may be resting? Because we're getting to a point where we need to start putting defense witnesses on notice.
Okay, very well.
So maybe we can do that tomorrow.
Tomorrow will be fine.
Most of your witnesses. My witnesses. Explain all that to me.
Yeah, do you have a pad of paper we can give to George? By chance? Do you have a pad of paper? Or some paper, anything? He's gonna write something down.
Good morning. Please be seated. Okay, we're ready to proceed with direct examination of Agent Dunlop.
Thank you. Mr. Dunlop, when we left off yesterday, we were talking about this, the object sitting in front of you. First of all, can you identify what that object is?
It's a Dodge City video draw poker machine.
Okay. And have you had the opportunity to conduct a forensic exam of that machine before your testimony here today?
Yes.
Is the machine operational?
Yes, it is.
Before you come down and demonstrate how it operates, so first of all, what kind of games are played on this video machine?
The only one game that is offered on this device is the draw poker.
Draw poker.
Yes.
Can you step down and you have enough money to get this thing operational? What I'd like you to do is explain to the jury how this video poker machine operates. I may have some questions as we go along. Okay?
As you can see, it's the Dodge City draw poker machine. It simulates the game of draw poker.
Your Honor, may we rise if necessary?
Let's get this over.
Yeah, counsel, you can move over here if you want to see how it works.
When I insert money into the machine, five images of playing cards will be played on the monitor here. This is a Capra Ray 2, an old TV monitor. And again, you have Dodge City. Here you have the reward table that is displayed on the monitor. This will tell you the value. This will tell you the value of those hands. And the hands that are listed are in the same order that will be recognized in the value of hands that you're sitting down and playing draw poker, where you have a royal flush, eyes, straight flush, five of a kind. But typically, if you're playing poker at a table with live participants, five of a kind is the highest hand. But on this device, five of a kind gives you the same reward as a straight flush. And then you have four of a kind, a full house. You have a flush, a straight, three of a kind, two pair, and jacks or better. You need at least jacks or better to win in this game. In the game of poker, with 52 cards, there's over 2.5 million hands in a 52-card deck. This machine only recognizes jacks or better, so it eliminates over 1 million hands. So you could have tens, nines, eights, a pair of sixes, and you would still lose. Now, on the
Just before you go on to the next part, yesterday you testified about the criteria for a gambling device, and one of those criteria was reward.
yes.
You
worth 25 cents. A credit, a point, a unit of play. Those terms are all interchangeable. So if I put in a $1 bill, I get 4 credits, it's a quarter point. And that's my value. And then
Is that, now, yesterday when you were talking about the criteria for gambling devices, you referenced the criteria of consideration.
yes,
If you bill us up, does that correspond to the consideration component?
yes, this would be consideration. This does not have a coin slot to it. Some machines used to have a coin slot. Inside this machine, once we open it up, you will see a round hole that is drilled into the deck. That was there to accommodate play on this device when there was a coin slot.
Okay. Okay, I guess the best way to proceed at this point is to activate the machine and demonstrate to you how it works.
But before I put money into a machine, I open it up. Open it up to see what's inside the machine. Inside this machine is a mechanical meter. It's like an odometer in your car. And if I put money in, it just activates, and this records the credits, the units of play. I also see any buttons inside the machine, also times of the records inside the machine. And what I will do is activate any of the buttons. And this is the total coins in. Right now, 0 because it has been zeroed out. Now, when I put in a dollar bill, this will register 4. And this will also correspond when I put in a dollar bill. This mechanical meter, you'll hear 4 clicks, indicating that each unit of play is worth 25 cents.
Yeah, yesterday when you were talking about some of the secondary features that you rely upon to conduct the current exam, you mentioned the metering device. Is that what you're referring to there?
Yes, this is this hard bookkeeping, mechanical meter, and then it's also has the soft bookkeeping on the monitor, and this can be zeroed out, where the mechanical meter cannot. And this records the money that is deposited into the machine.
Is that something that is used for these machines? Is that a useful device, a metering device for these machine owners for gambling purposes?
Yes, because they want to know how much money is taken in the machine, and they check that by taking the meter readings of the money in, but also seeing how much money is placed in the machine. They count the money, and they see if that corresponds to any of the meter readings.
Okay. Do you want to continue with the demonstration? Before you would you just explain to the jury?
Excuse me, Judge, before we proceed with all this, shouldn't there be a foundation as to where this machine came from?
Okay.
Agent, Mr. Dunlap, do you know where this machine came from?
Yes, it was received pursuant to a certain seizure warrant at the First Republican War.
First Ward Republican Club?
Yes.
And you actually participated in that search, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And just for the record, this machine is identified as Government Exhibit 2N2-1. May we continue, Your Honor?
Please.
I was asking you about where the money goes once it goes through the bill. So can you explain that? Now that you have the machine open?
You also see there's a square box right into the interior of the deck. That's where the money goes currency. When I put the money in, it would go down to the bottom. Typically, in the bottom here, there would be a bucket. It could be a cardboard box or a metal bucket or a plastic bucket. That would receive the money. Once it's placed into the bill acceptor, it goes to the hole, and it drops down here. With machines of this type, typically there's 2 lock compartments. The top part where the printed circuit board is located is the meter, and the lower portion is where the money is located.
Why would those compartments be locked?
Because the person who owns this machine or the proprietor of a restaurant pool hall where this machine is located, they want this locked. And often it is reinforced. You can see a key lock here. And this can be popped very easily with a straight edge screwdriver. That's why you see this bolt here. Often these machines are reinforced with metal bars because the money inside the machine, individuals will break into these machines to take the money.
And how about the metering devices? Is that something that needs to be secured?
The access to the printed circuit
continue with the demonstration of this machine?
When I'm doing an examination of the machine, I start with a $1 bill to see how many credits I receive. When I put this in, you hear the click 4 times, and you have, well, initially it was 4 credits on here, and it advanced 4 units, and I received 4 more credits. Now, when I access the on-screen accounting, this was 0. Now it advanced 4. So the on-screen accounting, when the account will be recognizes a dollar bill as 4 units of play. 1 credit, 1 unit of play is worth 25 cents. Now when to continue with the examination, I also put a 5, a 10, a 20, and a $100 bill to see if the bill acceptor will accept it. This machine will accept a 5, 10, and a 20. It would not accept a $50 and $100 bill. But I have examined Dodge City dog poker machines before, and they have accepted a $50 and $100 bill. Now put in a 5 now.
Try a 10 or a 20.
I'll do a 10. Okay, this will advance 80 units. It did read 80. When it finishes clicking, it will register 88.
Yeah, just for the record, you put a $20 bill into the machine at that time?
Yes, I did. Now, again, I would try a 50, and when I conducted a field examination of this machine, it would not accept a 50 nor a 100. When I did conduct the examination, it did accept the 10 and the 5. At times, what moves the bill acceptor are rubber, almost like rubber bands. And at times they will wear out and will not track the money, and you might have a malfunction, just like we experienced here now.
Yesterday, when you were testifying, you talked about a multiple credit feature as one of the criteria you used to identify gambling devices.
Yes.
Is that what you were just demonstrating with the insertion of multiple bills that run up multiple credits?
Yes, because I could continue putting in a $20 bill, and this can register up to, I think, 3 digits or 4 digits. If it goes up to 3 digits, then I know this machine can accept at least 999 credits. If it goes up to 4 digits, then I know it can accept 9,999 credits. And that's quarter point. That is multiple credit feature, something way beyond a true amusement device.
Let me, while we're talking about multiple credit, let me ask you a hypothetical question. In a true amusement device, if you put in if it costs a quarter to play, correct?
Yes.
You put in a quarter, you can play the machine, correct?
Yes.
In this situation where you have multiple credits, why would you put in more money than necessary to play the machine? If you could play for a quarter, why would you put a $20 bill inside it?
The reason I would want to put a $20 bill in there is because I want to get more credits. I want to bet more than 1 credit because I want to increase my reward, the payout table. I want to increase that because then if I get a winning hand, I will win more money.
So is it correct to say that the more money you put in, the more you can gamble?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we continue with the demonstration?
Now, what I'll do is I'll start playing the game, and when I hit a point, I'll hit the point button, and you will see that the score reduces from 88 to 87, and now I have a bet of 1. Now, if I hit the deal, images of 5 playing cards. And this device, the Dodge City device, will tell you cards to hold. It'll help you with that information. Now, it's telling you to hold, and what is dealt here is the 7 of spades, the 9 of clubs, 10 of clubs, queen of clubs, king of clubs, and a 7 of spades. And it's telling you that this card, they're making that suggestion to you, giving you the best possible So there are 9 left. There are 9 left in the virtual deck of cards. And you have to make that decision. But even processing or even discussing this information, your final selection is pure chance. You have no control over the final outcome. And our discussion here, again, that's not prolonging the game. It's a time cycle. Once you hit the deal button, the images of the cards come up. Once you hit the deal button again for the replacement card, it's a time cycle. Then your game is over.
When in an actual game of draw poker, not a virtual one that we're talking about here, are there more than one participant?
Yes.
So actually, when you have an actual game of draw poker, there's more cards going around the table, correct?
Yes, there's more cards. And when you're sitting down at a game of poker, there are some inherent skills that a player could bring to that game. And those skills would be betting courage, card memory and analysis, psychological deception, money management, and knowing the laws of probability as it relates to the game of draw poker. And those laws of probability we were just discussing about our selection process. The only of those inherent skills, the only one you bring to this game are knowing the laws of probability as it relates to poker. And even having that information, your final outcome of this game is chance.
The skills that you mentioned about in the game of poker, deception, betting strategy, betting courage, things like that, would they increase your odds of winning if you play this machine?
No, not at all.
So those skills are irrelevant to whether you win or lose on this machine.
Exactly. They're away from this machine.
Okay. And does that correspond, yesterday we were talking about the criteria for identifying a gambling device, you talked about the element of chance. Does that correspond to the element of chance?
Yes, playing this game it has an application of an element of chance.
Okay. Now, why don't you continue with the demonstration to see what happens when you play the game?
Now we're going to discard the 7 of spades, following the information that the machine is providing us. Now we're going to hit the deal button and an 8 of hearts. Now the machine tells us game is over. Even though we still have 87 points left, that particular game is over. Now we're playing a new game. Now,
Well, the game is over. Did you win or lose?
we lost.
So we lost 100 credits, which would correspond to 25 cents.
Yes. Now, it's telling you the game is over, play points, and you have bet, and you have score. So you have 3 terms that are describing the same thing, a unit of play. You have your score is 87, you have 87 units of play. Your bet block there, that's a unit of play. And it's telling you to play points. Again, that is your unit of play. Now, when I'm doing an examination of the machine, I want to know how many credits I can bet at one time, because that's a multiple bet feature, something that a true amusement device does not have.
Is that one of the features that I
Some that what doesn't have, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
Some that what doesn't have?
A true amusement device generally does not have a...
Generally.
Generally. Now, there are some amusement devices where you can wager on more than 1 credit. And one of the devices it's a shooting game called Time Crisis. Time Crisis 1, 2, and 3. And that, in fact, I play that with my sons. And the object there is you put in your quarters. It costs you 50 cents to play. And it's a mirror image of you both shooting. And my son will put in 50 cents. I will put in 50 cents. He's a better shot than I am. And what happens is, because I will misshoot, then what I have to do is put in additional 50 cents to continue my play while my son is still shooting. So I'm in my pocket getting my quarters out, putting my 50 cents in. And the object of this game, the Time Crisis 3, which is a skill-based game, is to move from various screens to eventually kill the boss. And once you finally kill the boss and you do it, then what you can do, your reward, you can shoot your initials out of the alphabet that is displayed, and then your initials will be placed in ranking in time. And that is your reward. But there it costs you a lot of quarters to try to get to that final screen where you're shooting the balls.
And that's what you would describe as a true amusement device.
That is a true amusement device, yes.
Okay. Now, on this Dot City, you were describing about you put in you try to see how many credits you can bet at a single time.
Yes.
That's the multiple credit, multiple bet features you talked about. How many bets can you? What's the multiple number of bets you can bet when you're playing this Dodge City machine?
20, which would equate to $5 a hand. And how we determine that, we just hit the points. Now just hold it down, and then 20 units will be subtracted from the score down to the bet. And then the images of the fine playing cards will come up. Now this is another game. And what is being dealt is a king of diamonds, a seven of clubs, a six of clubs, a four of clubs, six of spades. And the machine is putting a whole word above the six of clubs and the six of spades, providing you with that information to go, that's a pair, but that's not a winner. If we were sitting down playing poker, if you had a pair of sixes, good chance that you possibly could win that hand. But it's telling you now to hold the two sixes and to go for three of a kind. In the 52-card deck, 5 images are already displayed, and there's 47 left. And there's 4 sixes, and there's 2 left. So your chances of getting a 6 is 2 into the 47. But for 3 of a kind, what would you receive? You would receive 60 credits. 60 credits back. And at a quarter point, that's $15. And again, the bet we just wagered is $5. You don't bet $5 on a true RICO card.
So if you follow the machine's advice and hold this card and draw it, you're betting $5 to win $60. Is that correct?
No, you're betting 5 to win 15.
15.
You're risking 20 credits. You're risking 20 credits to win 60.
Okay, why don't you play the game and see what happens?
And we're going to hit the deal button, and the game is over. Even discussing that information about what would be the best selection still didn't provide us, didn't help us in winning the game. When I hit the deal button, it's chance when the images of the playing cards are coming up.
So you lost the second game you played. You lost that as well.
Right.
And this time you lost $5.
Now again, all we have to do, if we want that 20 credits, again, that's $5. All we have to do is hit the deal button. 20 credits are now subtracted from the score, goes down to the bet. That's another $5 I just wagered. And images of 5 playing cards come up, and it's 2 of diamonds, a 4 of diamonds, a 4 of spades, 6 of hearts, a 6 of diamonds. And hold is above 4 diamonds, a 4 of spades, a 6 of hearts, and a 6 of diamonds. The machine is giving you that information. And if you can discard that, again, what are they suggesting you go for? Full house. Looking for a full house, getting a third 4 or a third 6. Now, full house would pay you $1,000. If we get a 4 or a 6, we get a full house. We get 1,000 credits. That's $250 for a play from this device in that particular hand.
So if you follow the machine's suggestion, you're wagering $5 to win $250 if you
Yes.
get the card that you need.
Yes.
Okay, let's play and see what happens.
Okay, we win. But here we already had a winner. Remember, it was 2 pair. 2 pair, and 2 pair pay you 40. So we already had a winner, and we were trying to increase our winning to that full house to get $250. But we only had 2 pair, and the 2 pair is 40 and 40, and that's $10. So we risked 5 to win 10.
Okay. Now, the noise we heard, that's the indication for the machine that you want, correct?
Yes.
And it displays on the screen that you want, correct?
Yes, and once you win, now you have the opportunity to participate in a double-up feature, where you can double up your winning. On the left-hand side, if you hit the left discard button, it will say take your score. So the 40 credits then would be added to the 47, giving you 87 credits. And if you choose to double up, which is another feature of the machine, you just press the right discard recall button, and you play the double up.
Before you play, explain what double up is. Is that a poker play, or is that?
It's a gambling type of a term where basically you're trying to double up your winnings. You won 40, and now what you have the opportunity to do is double it up to 80.
So by doubling up, you're betting the 40 that you've won to win another 80.
Yes.
And what is the game of double up? Is that draw poker, or what does that mean?
Well, it's basically going to be high-low. what's your risky. And on the right-hand side, it has 9 through ace is high. So you have to decide what is this card is face down, what image will appear there. Will it be a high or a low? And this is pure chance.
There's no skill involved in predicting whether it's a high card or a low card, correct?
Yeah. So we have a choice of either selecting the high or the low, and we'll go with the high. And we won. We won. And now, if the machine is telling you that you're a winner, and now if you choose to participate a second time, and the machine will only let you do double up 2 times, we can go into double up again. And now, what you're risking 80. You're risking 80 credits.
So at this point, the initial bet was $5. You won and doubled that to 10. Then you played the double up feature and you won and doubled to 10 to 20. Correct?
Yeah.
So now you're betting 20.
Now you're risking 20.
$20.
Risking 20. And it goes, again, your selections are the same, whether it's going to be high or low. And since we selected high the first time, we'll go with the low. And game over. We just lost those credits.
So you lost all your winnings on your initial $5 bet.
Yes. And now if we choose, we continue to play, then the score will be decreased depending on how much we want to win.
Okay. As part of the demonstration yesterday, you talked about one of the features that identifies a gambling device is the short duration of play. Could you just play 3 games as quickly as, how long would typically take to play three hands of draw poker?
Well, it would take very, very, very quickly. Because all you have to do is hit your point and hit your deal button. Images will come up, and then you have to decide what you want to do. Again, that was a time cycle. The minute I hit the deal button, those images of the 5 playing cards came up. That's a time cycle. And if I choose, say I'm in a bar or a restaurant, and I step away from the machine and go and have a beverage or something to eat, that's not prolonging the play of the game. And again, if I choose to discard all the cards again and hit the deal, then the game is over. So that is the time cycle, very short. The game that I mentioned to you before, that time price is 30. If you're skilled enough, your length of play on that game will be long. If you're not skilled enough, it will be a short duration.
Now, yesterday we talked about the knockoff feature. Is it correct that Dodge City machines do not have a knockoff feature built into the system?
It's not built into the system, but the knockoff feature that is used in these machines is the play down method.
So you can.
Is the what?
Play down method.
Could you demonstrate the play down method of knocking off credits on the Dodge City machine?
Yes. What I will do is I will bet the max. I receive my payout from the bartender or the bar owner, and now what I'm going to do is just scan and deal again, scan, deal again, and scan, game's over. I'm down to 0. So you can eliminate many credits very, very quickly by the play down method, and that's something that is common in the video gambling industry.
Is it correct? You just played down the 80 points you had and it took probably less than 10 seconds? Is that correct?
Yeah, 46 at the time.
Okay, is there anything else we need to demonstrate about the operation of this machine at this point?
Nothing. That machine does have a power interrupt circuit, and that's typically something associated with a gambling device, because if you, like in the casinos, and here in Pennsylvania or in New Jersey, if it's required that all the gambling devices have a power interrupt circuit. And basically, if you're playing at one of the slot machines or one of the video golf poker machines at the gambling venues in Pennsylvania or New Jersey or any other state, and if the power goes fun and skill for amusement only.
I guess how you specified about mislabeling is a feature that identifies gambling machines.
Yes, because this subtlety, this fully diversion the video gambling industry uses to disguise the true nature and the use of this device. Because I've never seen the words for amusement only when they true amusement device. The one I mentioned to you about the Time Crisis 3 or Pac-Man, those words will not appear on devices of that type.
Does that complete your forensic demonstration?
Yes.
Why don't you go back to your, before you do that, why don't you turn the machine off so it doesn't distract you? That's what it's supposed to do. Now, Mr. Dunlap, the demonstration you just conducted was for the Dodge City video poker machine. We don't have one in the courtroom for display purposes, but have you conducted forensics examinations of video slot machines?
Yes.
Do they operate in substantially the same manner?
Well, it has the elements of consideration, chance, and reward, and the type of names that are associated with these casino-style slot machines are Cherry Master, New Fruit Bonus. Basically, it's a series of 9 grids, 9 windows, video windows on the monitor, and images of fruit, bars, bells will spin through each of the 9 grids.
So the slot machines don't have the game of draw poker. It's a different type of contest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, when you conduct your examination of the slot machines, do you basically follow the same procedures and use the same criteria?
Yes.
Now, are you familiar with the phrase stop owner?
Stop owner?
Stop owner.
Yes.
Yeah, have you encountered that phrase in your work?
Yes, stop owner, yes.
And what does that mean? What is a stop owner or a shop owner?
Well, a shop owner, again, it would be the owner of a location where a vendor would place a video gambling machine.
Why would a stop owner want to have a video gambling machine in his place of business, his or her place of business?
To make money.
Can you, in conjunction with the demonstration you just conducted, can you explain to the jury how a stop owner would make money by having one of these machines in their establishment?
The machines are placed in a bar, restaurant, pool hall, convenience store, and the vendor or an employee of the vending company that would place a machine in a stop or a location will come in periodically, maybe once a week. If there's a lot of play on the machine, they might come in twice a week because the owners of the machines and the owner of the location, they do not want people to come in and break into the machine and steal the money. And so the employee of the vending company or the vendor would come to the location and settle up with the stop owner. And the settle up practice would basically take the money out. And there's various arrangements that are made between vendors who supply these machines and location or stop owners.
What kind of arrangements are there between the vendor who supplies the machine and the shop owner who puts it in his place of business and uses it for his customers?
The various arrangements that I'm familiar with, you have a basic split. One where you just split the proceeds in the machine, 50-50, could be 60-40, 70-30. Each stop would have their own arrangement with the particular vendor, depending on the volume on the machine, the volume of play on the machine. Then you would have a lend-lease agreement where a location will pay a monthly rental fee to the vendor, say $100 per machine, and then the location owner, the stop owner, will then have access to the lower portion of the machine and have all the money. And another type of an arrangement that is very, very common is a 50-50 split. And the 50-50 split of the net proceeds. So say on this machine, if a vendor would come in or a route man, an employee of the vending company would come in and settle up he would open up the machine, take the money out, and say there's $1,000. And then he would ask the location owner, how much did you pay out this week? And say the location owner paid out $400. Well, the vendor will reimburse the location owner the $400 for those payouts. And now from that gross of $1,000 that was initially in the machine, $400 had been paid out. Now you're down to a net of $600, and now there's a 50-50 split of that net proceeds. So the vendor would get $300, and then the location owner would get $300. But there's another aspect in this industry, or loans are very, very common in the video gambling industry. Now say that a location owner of this machine had a loan and his weekly loan payment was $200. Now that $200 now is deducted from his $300. So the vendor now will get $500. Location owner gets $100.
And these arrangements between the vendor who owns the machine and services it and the shop owner who places it in his business, there are different kinds, and who decides what the nature of the arrangement is going to be?
That's between the vendor who owns the machines and places the machines and the location. Because you might have a location that has a lot of play, and where you might have more than one machine or 3 or 4 machines. And if it's a high volume place, you might have a better arrangement.
That would be subject to negotiation between the two parties, correct?
Yes.
Now, you mentioned the term payouts a few minutes ago.
Yes.
What does that term mean?
The payout is your reward. When you're playing this machine and you accumulate, say, 400 credits, at 25 cents a credit, your reward, your payout would be $100. You don't get it directly from the machine. You have to go to somebody in authority at the location, typically a bartender or the owner of the establishment, to get the money. And then once the money is given and any notations that are made about that payout, and then you would go back over and play the points down to get it back to 0. For a new player to come and deposit money in the machine, which would be the consideration, and then to start to play on the device.
And the payouts would be correspond to what you testified about the reward aspect of gambling.
Yes.
Have you, in the course of your work and experience both with the Baltimore County Police and the FBI, have you ever worked in an undercover capacity? Have you ever actually been inside a bar watching what goes on in there?
Yes, many times.
And have you personally observed the process of payouts?
Yes, I've observed payouts, and I've also received payouts.
And typically, where is the cash that payouts made in cash or check?
Cash.
And where does the money come from to pay the winning bettors and the gamblers?
Say in a bar, typically it's held behind the bar. Say might be in a drawer below the cash register. Some locations commingle their funds with their daily operating funds. Other keep it completely separated, and it would be some place that would be a protected area where patrons would not have access, just employees.
Now, you testified yesterday you've also consulted with legal gambling casinos and businesses that operate in jurisdictions where certain types of gambling are lawful, correct?
Yes.
And have you inspected video gambling machines inside licensed casinos?
On occasion, yes.
Is the type of machine that you just demonstrated here, the Dodge City video poker machine, is that the type of machine you would find in a licensed casino?
No, this machine would never pass the validation process, say, with the New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement. I've been to their lab on many occasions, and this would never meet the requirements that must be fulfilled before a slot machine, whether it's a casino-style slot machine or a video poker machine, be placed on the casino floor.
Why is that?
Well, just the cabinetry is inferior, the locking mechanism is inferior, the bill validator is inferior.
Judge, I'm going to object to this line of questioning. What does the New Jersey Casino Control Commission regulations have to do with this Pennsylvania case? It's very interesting, but
I'm just
there's
drawing
no
out the
allegation
distinction.
any of this was done in New Jersey.
I'm just drawing out the distinction between this type of machine that was found in this case, which we will demonstrate in a few minutes.
Well, that's why I'm objecting. I don't think it's a proper distinction.
And the distinction between machines that are used for legalized gambling.
Judge, the New Jersey regulations are the most rigorous of the 39 states allowing
Well,
gambling.
why don't you explore it in cross-examination?
I'm trying to save time. I don't think it's necessary.
Good. I think we're almost there anyway.
Okay.
Just briefly complete your answer as to why a machine such as this would not be found in a licensed casino facility.
This would, again, because of the inferior nature of the construction of the device, and now this game would be offered. Draw poker is very popular in the casinos, but not this type of cabinetry, this type of device would not be in a casino.
Now, Mr. Dunlap, I want to shift gears a little bit, talk about another topic. Calling your attention to the time period of 2001. To your knowledge, did the Philadelphia Field Division of the FBI conduct a number of search warrants in the city of Philadelphia?
Yes.
And after those search warrants were conducted, did the Philadelphia Field Division ask you to provide any forensic services in connection with the results of those searches?
Yes.
And do you recall exactly what you did at that time?
There were some records that were seized, and also some gambling machines that were seized.
Agent, I'm sorry, Mr. Dunlop, do you know these Dodge City machines, who are they manufactured by?
Merit Industries.
And where is Merritt located?
My understanding, they were located in Bensalem, Pennsylvania.
May I proceed?
Yes, you may.
Mr. Dunlap, at this time I'm going to hand you a document that's previously identified as Government Exhibit 5D, number 2. Take a look at this and identify what that document is.
This is an FBI laboratory report.
Did you prepare that report?
Yes, I did.
And going back to the request for forensic services, does this report reflect what you did in response to the request from the Philadelphia Field Division?
Yes.
Now, you personally did not, you were not involved in the FBI search warrants that were executed in April of 2001, correct?
That's correct.
But have you personally examined the machines that were seized as a result of those searches?
Yes, I have.
And have you conducted a forensic exam of some of those machines?
Yes.
Okay, could you just explain to the jury what you did when you conducted your forensic exam of those machines?
Just to identify the elements of consideration, chance, and reward, and also to identify any other characteristics that might be associated with the video gambling devices, such as a multiple bet feature, short duration of play. These machines had a retention ratio, a payout percentage with dip switches that could adjust the payout percentage, and then you also had knockoff features on the devices, and they also had meters that recorded the credits in and also the credits that were clear knocked off from the devices.
And calling your attention to, just for the record, is it correct that Government Exhibit 5D2 is your forensic report dated September 17th, 2002?
Yes.
Can you identify the number of machines and the locations where those machines came from that you examined in connection with your forensic report?
But two of the machines that were seized from the Santa Fe Club.
Where is that located?
2026 South Hutchinson Street in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And then two devices that were seized from the Cafe Napoli, 1427 West Passillon Avenue in Philadelphia. And then three video gambling devices reportedly seized from Vic's Coffee Shop from 1600 South 8th Street in Philadelphia. And then three devices that were seized from Terry's Variety Store at 10th and McLean Street in Philadelphia. And one video poker device reportedly seized from Bay's at 1012 South 5th Street in Philadelphia. And then one video poker gambling device seized from Whiskey Dick's, 4630 Umbra Street in Philadelphia, and then 3 video poker machines seized from Ace Vending at 824 to 826 Mountain Street in Philadelphia.
Okay. And in the course of your forensic examination of those machines, you applied the same criteria that you testified about yesterday and today?
Yes.
And what was the result of your forensic examination of those machines?
All the machines that were examined are gambling devices.
Now, are you familiar with the term sampling?
Yes.
What does that phrase mean?
When there's a voluminous amount of evidence, let's say there's a large number of gambling machines, a sampling is conducted, and typically the sampling would consist of you would do one type of machine from each location. If there's a different variety of machines, you would do multiple machines from each location. If, say, there were 10 machines seized from one location, and one was a Dodge City Draw poker machine, and one was a Sherry Master or a new Fruit Bonus video slot machine, those would be the ones that you would conduct your examination, and you would just identify, yes, the other ones are similar in nature. Say there were 8 out of the 10, 9 were Dodge City poker machines, and one was a Cherry Master. You would do one Dodge City and one Cherry Master.
Now, to your knowledge, when the FBI conducted the searches in April 2009, I believe by your tally, you conducted a forensic exam of 15 machines, correct?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, did the FBI seize more than 15 machines during the execution of those search warrants?
Yes, they did.
Did you employ the sampling technique that you just described?
Yes.
And is that an acceptable practice in your field of expertise?
Yes.
What types of machines were the machines that you analyzed? Were they Dodge City poker machines? Some of them Dodge.
Some of them were the Cherry Master fruit machines.
And some were Dodge City poker
Yes.
machines. Now, just calling your attention to page 4 of your report. You can review the report to refresh your recollection. Did any of the machines that you examined in connection with the April 2001 search warrants, did any of those machines have knockoff features?
Yes. 13 of the machines did.
Now, let me ask you a couple questions about another topic. You are familiar in doing your work with the gambling laws of various jurisdictions, correct?
Yes.
Now, I don't want you to render a legal opinion. Okay, I just want to talk about your practice. You're familiar with the gambling laws of Pennsylvania, correct?
A little bit, yes.
Are you familiar with the term illegal per se machine?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Basically, it's a device that you cannot possess. Just on the merits of the machine as it stands, you cannot possess it.
Is a video gambling machine with a knockoff feature incorporated into it, is that an illegal per se machine, to your understanding?
In my understanding,
Yeah,
yes.
I object to that. That's a legal opinion. He's not qualified to give that.
Let me see your sidebar. Okay, let's proceed. Restate the question.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Dunlap, looking at page 4 of your report, it's identified as governing to 5D2. Is it correct? You observed that, based upon your forensic examination, 13 of the 15 machines you examined had knockoff features, correct?
A little distracting the conversation, please. Thank you. Okay, let's proceed.
Did you hear the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the answer is yes.
Okay. And
I did not hear the question. I was distracted.
I'll repeat it. Looking at the last full paragraph on page 4 of your forensic report, which is identified as Government Exhibit 5D2, that's where you discuss your analysis of knockoff features. Is it correct that 13 of the 15 devices that you examined did in fact have knockoff features?
Yes, that is correct.
And can you just, with respect to the machine that was identified as item Q12, what type of knockoff feature did that have?
It had a pair of exposed bolt heads, round bolt heads that were affixed to the side of the cabinet, and they would be positioned about an inch apart. And contact is made either by a quarter, a piece of metal, and that completes the circuit. And where it knocks off, eliminates, erases the accumulated credits that would be in the score area of the machine that was demonstrated earlier.
Now, by logical deduction, if 13 of the 15 had knockoff devices, does that mean that 2 of them did not have knockoff devices?
Yes.
Or knockoff features?
Well, they had a knockoff feature.
Yes. Can you explain that?
And the knockoff feature would be on the draw poker machines. That would be the play-down method.
So even though the knockoff device wasn't incorporated into the design and manufacture of the machine, the two other machines did have a knockoff ability, correct?
Yes, by the play-down method.
Now, let me hand you another exhibit that's marked. Record. This document is identified as code 5D5.
I'm sorry, 5?
5D is in dog, 5. Now, moving forward in time, Mr. Dunlap, specifically the time frame of June of 2006. Okay? Did you come to Philadelphia and participate in the execution of some search warrants at that time?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you recall there were, again, multiple search warrants executed by the Philadelphia FBI Field Division?
Yes.
Okay. Did you go to
What date was that?
Did you recall the date?
It was in 2006, the exact date.
Let me hand you another document that may help you refresh your recollection as to the date. Your Honor, may I?
Yes, you may.
For the record, this document is identified as Government Exhibit 5D3. Dunlop, why don't you take a look at that and see if that refreshes your recollection as to the date you came to Philadelphia in June of 2006 and participated in some search warrants.
Right, June the 1st of 2006 when the search warrants.
Okay, and before you came to Philadelphia, were you tasked by the Philadelphia Field Division to provide forensic services?
Yes.
And do you recall what exactly was the assignment that they gave you your staff at that time?
One, to participate in the execution of the search and seizure warrants on June the 1st, 2006, and then do a subsequent field examination of the seized gambling devices.
And I believe you testified you actually participated in the execution of the search warrant at the First Ward Republican Club?
Yes.
And where was that located?
2300 South Woodstock Street in Philadelphia.
And during the execution of that search warrant, were any video gambling video devices seized during the execution of the warrant?
Yes, 3 were seized.
What type of machines were they?
Dodge City draw poker machines.
And did you conduct a forensic examination of those machines?
Yes, I did.
And did you use the same criteria and procedure that you've already testified about?
Yes, I did.
And what was the result of your forensic examination of those 3 machines that were seized from the First Ward Republican Club?
My determination that they were gambling devices.
And again, just so the record is clear, the machine that you conducted the demonstration in courtroom today was identified as 2 and 2-1. Do you recognize that as one of the machines that was seized from the First Ward Republican Club?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness again for
Yes, you may.
another example? This time Mr. Dunlap, I'll hand you a document that has previously been marked as Government Exhibit 5, letter D, numeral 8. On your attention, moving forward through the time frame of 2009, actually, let me rephrase the question. Time period of 2012, were you once again, was your staff once again asked by the Philadelphia FBI to provide forensic support services?
Yes.
And what was that in connection with?
And that was to conduct a field examination of seized gambling devices.
And do you know when those gambling devices were seized? If you need to look at your report to refresh your recollection, please do.
They were seized September the 16th, 2009, from various locations.
And what did you do in response to the request from the Philadelphia Field Division to conduct another forensic examination?
Traveled to Philadelphia, went to the sites where the machines were stored, and then conducted a field examination of the devices.
Okay. Did you perform the same procedure and use the same criteria that you previously testified to?
Yes.
Now, looking at your report, is it correct that there were multiple, there were multiple sites searched and multiple machines seized during the execution of the search warrants in September of 2009?
Yes.
Now, looking at your report, I just want to ask you about some of those locations and seizures, not all of them, okay? And looking at your report, page 2, did you examine machines that were seized from a location identified as DeNix of Snyder, located at 1528 Snyder Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
Yes, two machines were examined.
Okay, and what was your forensic result of the what was the result of your forensic examination of those machines?
That they were gambling devices.
And it was correct, they were 2 Dodge City video poker machines?
Yes.
The bottom of page 2, calling your attention to the last paragraph there, did you conduct a forensic examination of video machines that were seized from a location identified as Grumpy's, 1529 South 9th Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
Yes.
And what was your result of that forensic exam? How many machines were seized from that location?
3 Dodge City draw poker machines, and my conclusion was that they were gambling devices.
Moving forward to page 3 of your report, did you also examine machines that were seized from a location identified as Quattro's Bar, 2635 South 13th Street, Philadelphia?
Yes.
And how many machines were seized from that location?
1 machine.
What was your what was the result of your forensic examination of that machine?
That was a gambling device.
Moving forward, the bottom of page 3, did you examine machines that were seized from a location identified as Ace Vending, located at 824, 826 Mountain Street in Philadelphia?
Yes.
And you may have to jump over to page 4 to complete your analysis. Do you recall how many machines were seized from that location?
$13.
Okay. And what was the result of your forensic examination of those 13 machines?
That they were gambling devices.
Is it correct that some of those machines that you examined from the Ace Vending location were not operational?
That is correct.
And finally, looking at page 4 of your report, did you also analyze a video a machine that was seized from a location identified as Blue Suede, 2737 39 South 16th Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And what kind of machine was that?
It was a Dodge City.
And what was the result of your forensic analysis of that machine?
That it was a gambling device.
Your Honor, it's now a good time to break. I'm going to go into a different topic.
Okay, we'll take our morning recess. It's 10 minutes of 11, and we'll resume at 5 past 11.